What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Professional Opinion Show, episode 15. Here with the one and only Coach Cotton. What is up, brother?
15. That sounds good, dude. Like we're way past
we are on cruise control now.
Yeah.
Coming hot off our money episode, which I know you're super busy, but yeah, you caused up a little stir. I think we threw some videos up on the TikTok. There were some folks getting a little animosity going on, but no, it was all good and stuff. But I thought, yeah, I mean, nothing was really, I guess, colorful enough that I thought it'd be fun to talk about in here. But it did. I know. So I think we were hoping for a little bit more there, but coming off of the money episode, do you know what May 22nd is? Rhetorical.
Is that today?
Yeah, today is May the 22nd. It is called Bitcoin Pizza Day.
Oh, geez.
Have you heard of this before? Have you heard of Bitcoin Pizza Day before?
You know I have not, dude. You know I have not.
So I just tell you a funny story here. So I guess 10 years ago today, 2010, actually 15 years ago today, on May 22nd, right? So Bitcoin was invented in 2009. And so like the next year, people were starting to like mine it and put all these coins, but then they're like, what the hell are we going to do with all these coins? Like, it's just like nerds on the internet at this point in 2010. So they're racking up like hundreds of thousands of coins. And so finally somebody's like, whatever, like, let's do something with it. Like, I'm hungry. If somebody brings me a pizza, like, I'll pay you in Bitcoin. So I think he said, like, I'll send you 10,000 Bitcoin. You bring me some pizza. So some dude picked him up. Some dude, like, on the blog, like, picked it up and was like, cool, like, I'll bring you some pizza. And I think they really just did it just to show, like, oh, Bitcoin works as money. Like, you can send it here. I bring you pizza,
right.
Value exchanged. Okay, so at the time, that transaction was valued at roughly like $40. Do you have any idea what Bitcoin, like what the cost of one Bitcoin is today?
I don't know the cost, but I know that dude's he's sitting on 6 figures.
Probably like 8 or 9 figures.
What?
So
oh my God.
The price of one Bitcoin, this is ironic because it actually just hit a new all-time high today. So the price of one Bitcoin today is $111,000. And this dude paid 10,000 Bitcoin. It's like $1.1 billion for 2 Papa John's pizzas 15 years ago.
Oh, Papa John's just totally worth it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so at the time, like, everybody was clowning him, but then every year it just gets to be like a worse and worse joke for this cat because it's like, man, this sucked when it was like 10,000. Now, yeah, not a good day. So, isn't that bananas though? On multiple fronts, but
yes, it is, and it's funny because man, it's always like that, isn't it? Like if I would have just made a left instead of a right kind of thing,
right? Have it all figured out. But no, I thought that was funny coming off the money episode and coming off of just this crazy day where it is, it's on the anniversary of that is where Bitcoin just decided to spike up and be higher than it's ever been before. So it's a little crazy.
It was crazy.
But, yeah, man, we were just talking before the show kicked off. You got your voice back, which is good. About 90%? I heard a little squeak here and there, but.
Yeah, there's some, if I get excited or I try to sing a Taylor Swift song or something, it goes out the window, but. It's
funny story. I mean, interrupt you real quick. If you don't know, like if you saw this guy in the gym work out, like he works out like a freaking lunatic. Most people come across, like who is this guy? What's he doing? One day, I think you dropped your earbud or something. I picked it up, and no shit, you listen to Taylor Swift when you work out. Is that a true story?
That's a fact, dude. It's a fact. I would hit my go-to is Mean. And I would sing it, but like again, she's got a high octave, and I am a 4-chair turn, but I can't. My what is it, vibrato or whatever? It's off.
Yeah. You work out like you listen to Korn, and then inside it's just like you just jamming out, man.
That's right.
But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, man. What? Tell us what you got. Unless you're singing it, you're back to about normal there.
Yeah, about there. I mean, I've been drinking this peppermint honey tea, and I was actually Googling, sitting on YouTube, seeing what like vocalists do to like, strengthen and heal their vocal cords or whatever, and doing these weird like exercises, which just doing it just now felt stupid. It feels even more dumb when I'm just by myself trying to do it. But I don't even know if it's working. I feel like it's some kind of video some kid made just to see how many people are sitting at the house. He's just thinking like, got him.
Got him.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's been an experience, dude. I've and I just don't. I keep trying to like question myself on like I don't know if I like I'm trying to just get everything like too perfect or what or like my wife has told me I have till 10th, I believe, to figure it out, because
Oh
dude,
boy.
I'm up at 4. I'll be up at 4 tomorrow. I'm unlocking the door and turning off the alarm at 4:30, and then I'm typically getting back in my car at like 8:15 p.m. And
Dang, bro.
there's like I mean, there's like a good like I try to break out at like I don't know, 11ish or 12, and the next class doesn't start till like 3:15, but I try to be there at 2:30 to help the other coach set up, or if anybody pops in, and so I mean, I get a couple hour break in there, but yeah, dude, and it's pretty much like I get home, try to be present for an hour, and
Without
I'm
falling
down.
asleep.
Yep, and then I'm down. I pop back up and I hit it again, and because I think what people also like don't look into, like if you're into like sports or fitness or like it's the hospitality business, dude, and like so that means weekends aren't off the table normally. And lucky for me, like we're like Chick-fil-A without the fat. Uh, so we're closed on Sundays, but Saturday morning, dude, like you know, I can't like totally decompress Friday night because I got to get up and hit a little Saturday grind, but that's done by like 1 in the afternoon. Uh, and then
Mm,
like it's like, all right, now we're at the weekend, but which is then that's just catch up on like, I need to teach my
everything.
son how to like edge and like do some things. Yeah, because then it's catch up on all the house stuff. But whatever, dude. It's like I said before we went live, like, I could be dead. So I think it's like I think it's dumb to complain about things like this, that like if I really, really didn't enjoy it, right, I just quit. Uh
Hmm.
and I'm doing what I love, so it's a grind, but like to me it's so well worth it, dude, especially the kids, dude. Like when I see them like smile because they got something right, or they know that they're improving, like that just like invigorates me. And it's just, don't get me wrong, there's people that take from you too, but I think I got
Hmm.
more. I think I got more that feed me than take away. So
Yeah.
I'm not complaining, and I know I just head down, eyes up, and eventually it'll get to a place where it smooths out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, leading up to that July 10th or whatever. I mean, do you kind of see this as a season of where you just gotta, I feel like life always has those things where like you gotta burn it, the candle at both ends, and then
Absolutely.
which is which is fine, I think, as long as there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But I mean, do you see any coming up from this, or you just?
No, I do. And I truly do. And I told, like, I mean, I was picked for this position because, like, dude, I'm familiar with like startups. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I know what that looks like. And the people are fooling themselves, dude, if they're not like, whenever this, dude, you've done this, right? Uh if you're not fully ready, and I told Kim before I told the boss man yes, like hey, you realize, head dude, new place, like, you can count me out for the next 2 months. Like, that's where
Mm-hmm.
I'll live, you know? Because the
Mm-hmm.
first one through the wall is always the bloodiest. And, you know, there's going to be, not only are you hoping that things just go as planned, but you also have to plan for the unknowns. And then the unknowns, there's always that thing that you didn't even know. You know, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And there's that one thing that you didn't even think about going sideways because you didn't know it existed.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so yeah, I would tell anybody, dude, if you want to start up your own thing and you're not prepared to just slay for like, I had told Kim 2 to 3 months, 2 to 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
like it's just gonna be full gas pedal down. And I'm at oh, I'm at, I'm only at like 5 or 6 weeks, I think. I think
Mm. Interesting.
so.
Yeah, I talk to a
And
lot of people, it's just starting out, and it's like, I think that's what really makes people like, are you gonna make it or not? It's almost like life testing you. Like, are you gonna keep doing this for long enough to at least build some traction? Because most people
right,
they do it for a week and like, oh, f this, man, shit sucks.
it's the
Um,
same with the statistic that I like to bring up every time we fire up this camera, dude. Right? Most people are like, "Ugh, I just don't feel like that today," and da 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 da.
hmm
Good, and
yeah,
that's what I'm hoping.
right.
Good, because I'm counting on you to be lazy so I can be successful.
Yeah, it's job security for sure, and I mean, I think it's good news. I think for people like us, because obviously, like you said, it makes it easy to stand out, and for anybody who does get like when life gets really tough. I mean, at least know you can almost do anything you want if you are willing to just pound pavement and go through the suck for long enough. Like it's almost impossible not to succeed or get through or get what you're looking
Correct,
for. But
correct.
a
If
lot
you
of
do
people just
that,
don't do
dude,
that.
well, yeah, and if you do that, dude, I've seen people that like, they do what we're talking about, right? Like they're fully committed and they're consistent and they show up every day, even if they're not getting the results that they're looking for. They just keep pounding and pounding. And I've seen cats that like end up super successful in a completely different way that they never envisioned because someone just saw the potential through the work effort. And they're like,
Hmm.
hey, this isn't really, like it'd be like our relationship, dude. You'd walk by every day out of your house and you see me every day, like, I don't know, chasing this one squirrel that I'm never going to catch. And every day you walk out and you see me and I'm running all over the place like an idiot, up and down the tree, to the roof, jumping off the roof, ending up, I'm walking around in a sling the next day and you go to work and blah, blah. And finally you come over and you're like, hey, you know what? Like, you're really fast and crazy and don't care have any self-preservation skills. I work for a film industry. You'd be a great stuntman. And then I end up
Yeah.
the best, like, you know what I mean? Just
Right.
because it's just this one, if anything, is that I'm there all the time. I don't quit.
Hmm.
And there's seemingly to you, there's no end in sight to how far that I will push.
Exactly. And again, like we talked about too, it's like you never know who's watching, who's doing what. If you're willing to go out there and get it, I mean, there's so many stories of like people who like, let me try this out. I'm gonna go just I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna get after it this way. And then like, oh, then I bumped into this guy, and he was like, oh, since you do that, let's go and do this. And then it's like, look 10 steps ahead from there. It's like, how the hell did this guy get to where he's at? And it's you just
Yeah.
life has a funny way of just like working out and introducing you, almost like it brings you opportunity when, when it feels like you're ready for it. But if you don't willing to take that first step, kind of just leaves you sitting on the sideline.
There's a ton of successful people, dude, that I hear this from a lot, right? And I guess I kind of, there's a part of me that subscribes to it, maybe like subliminally, right? Or I just, or not subliminally, subconsciously. Sorry, I'm tired. Uh, but yeah, subconsciously, I think I kind of subscribe to this. But like oh, you see it a lot, like Conor McGregor, or
Hmm.
or athletes in general, right? Like pro athletes, they always talk about putting things out in the universe and speaking it into existence, right? Have you ever,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. Yeah, like The
Yeah.
Secret. Yeah.
And so I think about that a lot, right? Like as I'm grinding, I do, like, I openly tell people, like they'll be like, "Man, we do blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Look, dude, I'm doing this because uh by next year we're gonna have so much." And I've said this to a ton of people, right? You remember my whiteboard?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so I drew that for the boss man, right? And for those who
Mhm.
have no idea what we're talking about, there's this vision that I have of what could be the new community center, and like actually like change and help people's lives in the way that, like, the way the community center is supposed to do. That people have since, like, I would say it's probably a forgotten thing anyways, right? Like, I don't know the last time I heard someone saying, like, I'm taking the kids, we're going to the community center, hang out, da 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 da, right? Like, community centers now come with like a bandana and a cheap high point 9 millimeter. But the so I I was telling the boss that, and I've been talking about it, dude. There's like a little shop there's two shops next to us, and I've been telling anybody who listens to me for 5 minutes, like, oh, you think this is impressive? This is phase one. This is phase one.
Mhm.
Phase two is we get enough revenue and so many people, like, committed to this because it works. Because I
Mhm.
am I'm not trying to dive in people's pockets. I'm trying to, like, make effective lifelong changes that, like, and change lifestyles for the better. And I'm also a firm believer of, like, you don't have to sell a good product. A good product sells itself. That's why, like,
Mm.
Apple doesn't have to have sales. Uh,
Yeah.
Rogue Fitness doesn't have, like, sales, and the ones they do suck, and they only do it because it's Christmas.
Right.
But so I know that the product we have is legit. So I tell people all the time, like, dude, we're about to hit numbers to where I'm next year you know, towards next summer, we'll probably already be ready for phase two, where we osmosis this business next door, and we'll have one of the few places where we can put in a cold plunge, a sauna, have a protein shake bar thing, and like, start getting after everything. And
Mhm.
then we're gonna buy that other side and turn it into a learning center, uh, actual, like, sit down, use your mind place. But but yeah, dude. And so, because there is a part of me that I kind of do believe you have to say these things out loud to show people that, like, not only am I all in, but my dreams are bigger than you can imagine.
Mhm. That's what I believe in that too. I think you have to know beyond, just showing up for work and I'm here to till 4. I mean, you have to have a vision for what you want. You have to know, like, what it looks like, what it smells like. I do believe in that because you're almost convincing yourself and your subconscious that that's what we're driving towards. I guess the problem I have with that whole, like, speaking into existence thing is I think too many people focus on just that. Like, if
That's
I get up in the mirror, I look myself in the mirror every morning and I say, I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I'm gonna be a millionaire. Like, and then you don't do all the other crap. Like,
yeah,
I think too many people get hooked on those verbal affirmations. And I have my dream board, my vision board, but you
yeah,
don't do any action towards that. Like, and
right,
I think that's where the gap is. They talk, people do all the. It goes back to the same concept. Work harder to not do the work because they're looking
correct.
for a hack or a shortcut or
Uh,
some way. And like,
I'm gonna be a
crazy
millionaire,
thing.
so it
You
doesn't
just
matter if I keep taking out these loans.
no, 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 no. But I told my mirror that I'm gonna do it, so you better fucking believe it. So
Oh,
that's
dude.
that's my issues with the thing. But yeah, no, I
Yeah,
mean, it has to
yeah.
account for something, and I think there's something to be said too with, like, they talk about, like, if you're on that, if you have that same, like, thought process that emits like a frequency and you attract people that have that same kind of goals and intensity that you have.
Yeah, self-motivated, self-driven.
Yeah,
Yes. And and
makes sense to
and
me.
I agree. I think it's funny because I always about the I forget about the people that you're talking about, dude. And I do so I tame my love for humanity, because I assume, all the mirror talkers that you're mentioning are the same like window lickers that don't know what the left lane is for, and they just continue to impede traffic and uh, you know try to control the road like they have a badge. Uh, uh, yeah, dude, if common sense were common, that is, I don't know it's
It's like one
funny
of the
too.
underrated quotes. Eh?
Yeah, dude. Like, and what's super funny is I always wonder, just like this show, right? I think to us, everything that we're saying like is relevant. It has. I think we've been fair as far as like understanding that there's different perspectives and there's different life experiences, and so not everybody is approaching a situation with the same lens. And I feel like we talk about that, uh, but sometimes, dude, I just feel like for some people, like I just want to get in their head for like just a second and see if they're like, are you tripping balls right now, or like what is it, dude? Example. So I'm sitting. This just happened, right? I'm sitting at we have this area, we call it the observation area, right? Uh, and so I sit behind there when I'm like watching my coaches and I'm assessing, what they're doing. And, did they miss this? Is a ton of things, right? I don't want to.
Mhm.
They might hear this one day and think I'm shaming them or something. So we'll stop there. But so I'm watching him. This dude he's next to me. He gets a phone call, right? I've already been talking to this cat about his son, because his son's got like a lot of potential, super springy, and young. Uh, and so I was talking about the rarity of like the coordination and balance he has at his age, and how quick he can get off the ground. And his phone rings and it's work, right? So he's got to take it. We have the music at like be deaf in 10 years, right? Like like
As any gym should, right?
right? And so obviously he has to get up. He got up and started to walk like he was going to walk out, but stopped and just like hung beside one of the assault bikes or something, because uh, they went to a part of the exercise where they have to bring the volume down to give instruction and blah, 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 right?
Mm, yeah.
At the same time, I mean, this lady like passed him, like you pass someone in a hallway, right?
Right.
At the same time, this lady comes over, puts her hand on the chair beside me. She's like, "Is anyone sitting here?" And I'm like, "Oh, yes, ma'am. That guy just got up. I think he had to take a call for work or something. He's right there at the assault bike." And she goes, "Oh, okay," and sits down.
You're like,
Like,
what the hell?
like,
Did you
like
hear what I
straight,
just said?
yeah, but like straight, like, "Oh, thank you for explaining that. I'm gonna do what I want now." And it's funny. Uh, for me, inside my brain, I just, I start dying laughing, and then I I try to just like justify it, like, well, maybe she just thinks because we're basically in Lower Alabama, like that. Oh, it's a dude, I'm a lady, like, you know, probably would have gave me the chair anyways. And then I lean back and there's like there's literally an empty chair beside it to the other side.
Wow.
And it's like, I was like, never mind. You're you're the reason we have to put stickers on a lawnmower that says don't put your hand in here while the blade's spinning. Like, and
Yeah.
dude, oh my bro. I there's people, I love people, dude, and it never ceases to amaze me at some, because it's like you watch the news and you're like, this can't be real, dude. People
Right.
can't be this. And then like, man, you just go to your local Walmart, dude, and if you walk around long enough, you'll be like, oh, okay, people, yeah, okay, this makes
Got
sense,
it.
right? Yeah.
Dude, I don't know if it was how it was for you, but I feel like I didn't really realize that those people were real until I joined the military. It's
Yeah.
like everybody like, I feel like, in school and stuff, you really don't, at least for me, I didn't, you know, explore too much outside of my clique and the people I hung out with. I mean, like, I like know, and you go to Walmart and you see like, oh, an idiot. But then like when you join the military and you get all walks of life just get crammed together, I feel like it was like, man, you're a different kind of dumb. And
Yeah.
and and that's cool. I mean, it's just
Right.
you bring so many, different kinds of people from all across the country, and sometimes there was a lot of times where I was just so amazed at like, wow, this cat is so different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And I mean, same thing when my brother went, he called me like, dude, there's some weirdos, especially in like the comm and you get stuck in these like comm squadrons or some smarter ASVAB stuff. There are some different cats out there.
Did y'all have a dude like so every I agree, right? I think growing up in my neighborhood, dude, so like small town or whatever, and I think, as a kid, I mean, frontal lobe still developing all that jazz. And also like I even was in all kinds of cliques in high school, dude. I told you before, like I hung with the skaters, the bangers, the jocks, the nerds, not so much because I didn't understand what they were talking about. But not that I didn't want to. They were just smart. But I still just always looked at people as like, oh, well, that's just them. Not necessarily in the sense that like, wow, they're kind of missing the boat here. Because I don't think that I think in those settings, right, like a school, right, that's an institution. So there's already
Mhm.
these guidelines and rules and like there's this patterned out behavior that is set for you so you don't notice people that step way out of bounds, right? And if they do, it's usually in a way that you probably wanted to too and just thought your parents would kill you, right? Uh uh when I got in the military though, and the first time I had to tell another, right? Because you're an adult, right? A young
Mhm.
adult at that time, but you're an adult. And the first time in basic, I had to go to a guy and say, like, you have to change your underwear and you need to bathe, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, what? This is not just,
Right.
you didn't just know that.
Right.
And it's so yeah, like I think the same thing there were a lot of things that like and even going to other countries, right? Like when you get to the middle of nowhere, because believe it or not, right? There's still some places out there that like if you flicked on a light bulb, you'd scare some people because they don't have that access, right? Uh like legitimately, there's no power
Right.
lines. They're still lighting fires and building mud huts out of cow dung and whatever, right? But if a lion came charging at them, they would move. And there are
Mhm.
other people that would be like, "You stop that."
Stop.
No. No. Right? And it's like,
Uh,
man, dude, I think and I have to say, like, in this I see that more in the States, and I don't know if this is just like a a, like, continuation from Woodstock where, like, some people just went so hard.
oh man, it's
Like, I
still
don't
lingering.
yeah, dude, this is, like, residual, like, I don't know. But there are
Uh,
folks out there, dude, it's just like, wow. Like, wow. And
mm,
which is so funny because I feel like too, we're in a place where uh we're at this culture now that's always trying to just appease like the
mhm.
masses. It's impossible, dude. It's an impossible task. It's just like whoever like the what was one if you remember off the top of your head. I know you said they weren't like super colorful or fun, But what's like one of the things about the money thing that someone is a tiff, if you remember, like one comment?
True. I think so I put up the funny clip I put up was where you were talking about I gotta wait till I have old saggy balls to
Oh
enjoy
yeah,
the
right,
some new car or whatever like that.
right.
And all right, so one of them I remember one of them was like if you're buying it because you want other people. 'Cause I think you made like a sly remark of like I finally wanted it. I know it's
Yeah,
not what you meant. I think you said something like so other people can see it, and somebody's like if you're buying it for other people to see it, and that's not what money's for to impress other people you don't know or something like that.
wrong.
It's just
All right, so wrong, wrong. Everything is. Was it a dude? Because
oh yeah.
every move he has made in his life since he's the first time his junk wiggled has been to impress the opposite sex and try to lure them in. Every car he's bought, every job he's taken, every piece of shirt that he's picked out, every shoes, every time he's brushed his teeth, that was in order to mate, right? And so don't give me this crap, dude. Do you think, look, I would love to practice my craft and help other people because I genuinely have like this passion for people. But make no mistake, I've worked so very hard to get the dollar signs I have put behind my craft for one particular person, right? It it is
Right.
not, and if something happened to her tomorrow, I've told my kids this several times, there'd be so much stuff that I wouldn't need anymore. So much stuff to one, abs, right? Like there's just a lot of things that I could take a back seat on, right? And as I've told my kids, I probably take this 450 Bushmaster over here in the corner and go join Tim Tebow's tribe just offing child molesters in the Philippines. But yeah, dude, no, that dude's full of crap. The first there's a maybe kindergartner's too strong. There's like a fifth grader right now, right, who's like scraping his mom's pocket change together for the book fair tomorrow to go get this stupid like pen or pamphlet to give to Sally. So piss off with that, dude. Like, yeah, you got that. The car that you had in high school, right? You hoped would just like last long enough to go pick that girl up, to get her to the movies and get back without it damn like brakes squeaking or running out of gas because you barely had money for the movie. Like people are full of crap, dude. Dude can shut
That's
up.
hilarious.
Like,
Yeah, I found it. It's actually bandana underscore banana. That just
yeah.
sounds like a very your type of guy.
That is 100%, dude. 100%. He sounds like he's fresh off a Diddy baby oil party. So, the dude, that guy, he is full of it, dude. That was exactly my point. That was exactly my point. So I'm glad he brought it up. Yeah, I would love the Cadillac Escalade blacked out with rims and completely limo tinted around, blacked out decal headlights with there's one around here this dude has this local, and every time I see it I'm like, man, that's dope. But the
Right.
fact of the matter is, if Kim didn't want to get up in it, then I'd be like, well, what do you like?
Right.
And I'd
It's
have
pretty
that,
simple.
dude. It's pretty simple. I had a truck forever.
Yeah.
You know why? Not because Kim likes trucks. Kim likes when I'm doing projects and working. And you need a truck to do
That's
that and
good.
haul stuff and things. So that, yeah, dude.
Yeah. That's
Bandana banana,
hilarious.
dude. Please.
And then we got our hole says, enjoy sleeping under a bridge when you're 58. Because I titled it, Don't Save Your Money.
That's great. Yeah.
So you got to laugh at that.
I have to laugh at that one. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe,
Name's our hole.
maybe. I was on the phone with my
Uh,
little brother, coming back before I got on here with you, and my point was proven. That he's on the phone, dude, because he not because he works same hours as I do, but he has to make like a haul, because he
mhm.
currently lives like, dude, like a solid hour from where he typically works. And so
Mm.
he has to make a haul on the way back home. And that dude's, even on the drive home, he's usually jobbing it, right? Because he's in
Mhm.
sales, so he's always in the
Yeah.
office when he's in the truck.
Yeah.
That's actually the main office, but he's calling me because he's trying to play the same game I am, like stay awake. We're almost there. Uh, and
Right.
and so and I know that's why he calls me. So I try to talk to him as long as I can. Uh, and he goes, "Oh, well, I love you, man." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, dude, I don't get scared shitless often, but I almost died." And I was like, "What?" He was like, "Dude, I'm sitting at a red light, and he's trying to get on. He has to take this I forget what it's called, but it's the something pass. It's a toll bridge into, because he's out in Orange Beach area, so he has to take this toll bridge into the beach. And he's sitting at a red light, waiting to turn onto this toll bridge. And he said, "Dude, it's dark as hell." And he's like, "I see this guy coming because it's headlights. He's in the other lane." And he's like, he had to be on his phone or something. And he's like, "I didn't realize till he's getting in the intersection, he's coming right at me." And all of a sudden jerked his truck out of the way and missed me by like 6 inches. He's like, it happened
Oh
so
boy.
fast. Yeah, because the dude's, he's hauling ass. He's coming off
Right.
the thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, he had to be just fiddling with his phone or something. He snatched it, but he's like, by the time I realized like he's driving at me, he's like, I was just like, "Oh, this is how I go." And then he snatched the wheel away right at the last second. Uh, but
Jeez.
yeah, dude. And I told my brother, I was like, "Well, aren't you glad you got that new truck? 'Cause you might not have been able to enjoy that. You could have been
Oh
sitting
my
in a beater and
god.
just got creamed."
There is that.
Uh,
Yeah. Let's go out in style. Yeah.
yeah. It's just
That's-
yeah, man, I understand and I think we got to a logical again. I think we got to a logical place in that. That is the those shorts, dude. It's so bad, dude, we all have the attention span of goldfish now and the same memory. Uh, because that is, dude, that's how we've
60
gotten in
seconds,
all these.
baby.
Yeah, that's how we've gotten in all these wars over the years, dude. Because things like that. This dude gets a one-liner out of our whole conversation, and has enough information to make a judgment. It's the same thing people do with the good book. Like, "Oh, I just pull out this one line that suits my needs,
Heck
and
yeah.
call myself religious."
That's funny. Dude, you said something before that I don't know, remind me of the conversation I had this week that I wanted to get your thoughts on.
Mhm.
So, well, it's very, I think it's relevant. So, obviously you do a lot to make your wife happy. We talked about, how it relates to money and stuff. Earlier, it sounds like,
Right.
with your new work schedule, you guys are going through a new kind of like, I don't know, like probably a new season that you haven't had to solve for before. Like between you guys, your relationship, she put a boundary on you, you guys kind of working through that. So one of my like best friends from a long, I mean, good, like dude, you count on one hand, best friend hit me up this week, and he's been married to his old lady for some time, and they're both active duty too. So that's why I thought it'd be relevant to get your thoughts on this. So she just got back from a deployment, and I could just tell by some of the stuff he was posting. I'm like, man, doesn't sound like everything's all good. So hit him up. I'm like, hey, what's up? If you want to talk about anything, and he's like, yeah, man, just things aren't going so hot right now with me and the old lady. And I mean, and they're probably been married over 10 years and stuff. But I know
Mhm.
that like those deployments, I know you went through that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know any advice you would have for I guess somebody in that position, because my thought is like it probably takes some time to settle into a new norm when you're gone for 6 months and you just come back and try to inject yourself back into the daily mix of things. Um, I don't know. Do you have anything from your experience? I know you guys are on a long track record of success. But yeah, I was just like, man, maybe give it some time. I don't know, hopefully things kind of settle back into place once she gets back kind of established. Um,
Yeah, and this is easier said than done, dude. And I'm gonna say it, and I'll be honest. Like, do do I hang out in this mind frame all the time? And the answer is no, because uh, I think it is human nature. Like, our first response is, and I don't know that it's from a place of malice or anything. I just think that it's just human nature that you're always dreaming up your version of the movie, right? And like,
mhm.
I deployed a lot, dude, a lot. And the first couple, I think I got because all, again, dude, it's all this BS that people post, dude, and I think maybe the first one or second one or whatever, I don't know. Like, Kim was there at the airport. She had the sign. Like, the kids was there, and then life happens, dude, and you realize, like, uh, just like your household. Well, unless you're in the house by yourself, whatever it is that you perceive is about to happen next is probably not even close, uh, because you're not. It's hard to take into account. Well, what does everybody else have going on in their movie, dude? I came back from a deployment once, and like, I had to just sit at the airport for a couple hours. Like, I failed to coordinate. Right? That's, I mean, I thought everyone knew when I was coming home. Uh, but, like, the Aubrey had something at school or something, and blah blah blah, and, like, I was too, like, ignorant to just ride home with one of my buddies that had came back, and then I was like, hey, like, nah, my wife be here in a minute. I guess I ain't want to, like, look like a loser or something. Uh,
Yeah.
and, like, yeah, I mean, my wife does. They love me, dude. They'll be here. And and it was so funny, dude. Like, when I called Kim, I had a bit of an attitude about it, because, like, it's like, well, damn, like, because when I landed, we were in Fayetteville at the time, and my flight flew in to Raleigh,
Mhm.
so an hour away from our house, you know. And I called Kim, and she's like, I'm at such and such, and I'm like, I'm in the United States again. Like, I thought this was gonna be a big deal, and she's like, "Well,
Kind of.
you knew I had blah, 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 blah," and she probably did tell me, and I probably, like a lot of things in our marriage, I said yes, but what I actually processed in that conversation was the thing that was distracting me the whole time she was talking, uh, and, whatever squirrel was going on, and so, she snapped back at me, like, and then started telling me all the problems and situations that she had kept from me while I was doing my stuff that she still has in the air juggling, and I'm like, hey, look, I will gladly sit here, I'll see you when I see you. And I had a very nice, crappy airport meal that I was happy to have because it was in the States. And,
Right.
and I waited patiently. And then in that whole time, I had a lot to reflect on, mainly about how, like, everything that I had imagined of how that whole thing was going to go down, was definitely not going to happen. Uh, and not only that, but, like, that particular deployment, like, when she did get to me, it was very much like, good, you're on duty now. I'm getting in the back seat and I'm going to sleep, and you better not get a speeding ticket. And,
Mm.
and it's like, whoa, buddy-da, like, welcome,
Right.
welcome all. But so, all that to say that, like, I've learned over the years, dude. And again, when I say this, like, what I'm not saying for sure is that I nail this every day. Uh, but I do try to keep in my mind, man, that uh, I think people enter into marriage uh, a lot because the person that they're committing to has something they want and like more so than them wanting to do stuff to make that person happy. Does that make sense? Like they enter
Mm.
more with expectations than servitude, right? And
Mhm.
and and to really make a marriage like just rock solid, dude. There's a point in time where you got to realize that like you are crazy about this person, and if you are that crazy about them, then all you should want to do is whatever it is that would make them happy. Uh, and if you're trying really hard to just make life better for them, then those other things that attracted you and that you want would probably come around more frequently, right?
Mhm.
What's hard is like what happens when that is your aim and it's still not being reciprocated back to you,
Right.
and because that happens, and I think then you have to dig deeper than because I've bumped into that a few times with me and Kim, right, where I just thought I was doing everything right, like, and I realized that all my everything was not not totally superficial, but very, very surface level still. Like
Mhm.
you've been wanting me to change out this one vent in this place and take this out and knock out this project. You ask if I would, help out with the dishes more and that whole like, if I cook you clean or whatever, and
Right.
I'll take the kids this time and you chill. We'll go hang out with our friends. I'll drive, you drink, whatever. And you think you're doing all
Mhm.
these like trade-offs, uh, and that there should be some kind of golden star that you get after so many attaboys, and and you're wondering why it's not coming around. And I can tell you from experience, if that's the case, like you need to dig deeper because I would tell you for a fact, dude, it is very hard. It's very hard for anybody, male or female, uh, to truly put your partner first and get in the sense of like I said, right, without wanting any kind of return, right? If they're in a headspace where they're not totally in love with themselves, you know, uh,
Mhm.
I've seen that a lot where like and I have seen it more so for females because I think they are, so get pissed if you want, dude. I think this is, I could, if
Mhm.
I dug deep enough in my science books, there's actually like some facts to this, but they are more emotions and we are more physical, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And we're more action, they're more reactive, uh, and so it's just even with that like makeup of Mars and Venus is so hard, dude, to stop sometimes and be like, man, have I really like gone deep enough into this or and always, dude, you know why I'm we've worked together, dude. I am big on like just cut the shit, dude, and just tell me what you think, right?
Right.
Straight transparency, because I'll be the first to tell someone that like even when I'm in a position that I'm in charge, I'll tell people straight up, like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I could I could really use some input right now. And I think
Right.
all our ideas are probably be better than just me winging it, you know? And, but I will, just be prepared that the backlash is on all of you because I told you I didn't know. Uh, but I try to keep that same transparency, with my kids, with my wife all the time, dude, where like I've straight up just told them like, like, hey man, there's something going on because I've done ABC, looking for, A squared plus B squared equals like you're not pissed and you still are. And so what is just tell me, which sometimes
Right.
also will get you in a lot of hot water because apparently you should have just figured it out by now. But uh,
Man.
people are hard. They're really they're hard equations, and and the same complexity that makes up humans, and especially my wife, is the same thing that I love about her as well. Is that the uh, the unpredictability, the constant. Uh, here's the other side of this, right? That uh, and you can relate to this as well, right? Because you have your kids and blah blah blah. There's that girl you met, and then there's mom. There's
Hmm.
there's a thing that happens. Like, yeah, I mean, everybody used to call Kim Kimbo Slice, and with good reason. Uh, you might end up cut or knocked out, and now she cries at the right commercial, you know, and it's just
That
those
is
kids,
true.
yeah, those kids do that. So also, like, that person you met isn't going to be the same person. It's not. And if
Mm.
and if they are, dude, I feel like they're kind of losing anyways. Like, I am the me now would beat the shit out of the me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like skull drag down the road, dude. Uh
Oh man.
and so, like, people should change. And I do understand this dude's situation, right? And I would say that, like, so too many times, man, we always try to just turn to other people, because it's just so funny to me, like, when you think about married people. And I'm let the comments fly, dude. I'm not downplaying marriage counseling or anything. Like, sometimes these people are just so damn stubborn, they need that third party outside opinion. Like, I get that. All I'm saying is,
Hmm.
I think that it's funny that you get these two people, especially, you said this dude's like 10 years,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Right? They know what each other's buttholes look like. Like, and I mean, like,
Uh,
in the worst way, dude. They've seen each other throw up. They've seen each other with diarrhea. They've seen each other. They both they experienced COVID, right? They had the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the uglier. And yet, it's funny that, like, couples will still be like, I don't know what it is, man. Like, either pride or embarrassment or something. But they, after all that, like, dude, there's no one that knows me better than my wife. There's no one.
oh
No,
yeah.
my mom would be super pissed if she ever hears that. But that's just the facts, right? There's no
Right.
one. Uh, and yet she still never knows what to get me for Christmas, right? Like, how does that happen? And
Oh
and
man.
so how do we end up in these places where we like, can't be honest and forthcoming, and, like, uh and put it all out there? And you would think that all that time that you feel like you could tell, your person everything. And I would just encourage people to do that, but do it in the sense where, like, you have to, and it's so hard, dude, but you have to get your feelings off the table and accept the feedback, right? And
Hmm.
you have to accept it with the knowledge of knowing that, like, that's their perception. It's totally like Kim will never perceive the world in the way I do, simply because she can smell. Dude, this is just a hood ornament. I realize it looks
Yeah.
like a damn Tyson vacuum, but the thing is like, imagine that, dude. Right? I mean, a blind person. You just jump in their world for a day,
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
right? They are on a different planet, bro. They're in a different universe. It's sharing the
Hmm.
same space with you, right? And so, I think people don't realize, like, it's let's go back to my favorite thing to complain about with humanity, right? Which is undoubtedly the left lane, right? Like, it drives me berserk, right? Because here's the deal, dude. For all you, like, want to be highway patrolmen out there, right? E. Maybe the guy trying to pass you is on the way to his house from a phone call that he just got off the phone listening to his son choking to death in the kitchen, and he's got shit to do. and you should just move out of the
Mhm.
damn way and realize you're not the only one on the road. Or maybe you're pissing off a dude that's got 3 bodies in his trunk already. You should probably slide over. Or maybe they're just Ricky Bobby and they want to go fast. So get the hell out of the way. But
Right.
the one thing that's true about all of it is you have no idea where you're meeting people at
Mhm.
on a day-to-day basis. You have no idea when you roll up on a stranger, which is hilarious because it's why people are so much nicer to Joe Blow they've never met than the person they share a house with, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. I saw somebody say, yeah, like basically what you just said. Why are you more polite and more, open with your barista than you are the person you decide to spend your whole life with,
Because
And
you
that's
know how
definitely I'm guilty of that. Yeah.
well, and
You
it's
know.
also why BS doesn't matter fights that break out are the most dangerous because when you do get pissed, you know every damn button to push and you can't even help it. You know, you're just
Yeah.
like a damn 3-year-olds arguing over who got the last fork, and you say that one thing that cuts so deep because you do know them better
Oh
than anyone
man.
else, right? And then you find out that like, oh, that wasn't so wasn't so funny.
Yeah. No, that's honestly some great marital advice in general. So, yeah, I think
What
if
sucks too is
anybody.
like, I know that, dude, and it's hard, dude. It is so very hard, and like, I think the thing is like, and and Kim gets mad at me when I say, like, well, I'm doing, because she'll, because like she'll want to
Let's
do,
go.
she'll want to do something, right? Like go somewhere, and she'll be like, hey, I'm thinking about, blah, 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 whatever the scenario is. I'm thinking about blah, blah, blah. What do you think? And she gets so mad at me, dude, because it's like, I'm like, yo, I think, does that make a happier you? And if so, like, let's,
Let's go.
let's do that, And she'll
Right.
be like, yeah, are you just doing this for me? Yes. Yes, I do absolutely
Right.
everything just for you. I've been very open about this. I am employed because of you. I work out because of you. I run across the Mid-Bay Bridge and back all the time to try and find out what is the body type you're looking for. I know you wish it was taller, but you made that decision and I can't grow anymore.
Yeah,
I've
can't
tried,
do that one.
right? Uh, the
That's funny.
But yeah, dude, it's I try to be better in my faith. All of it, dude, is I actually, and I'm at the point now, dude. Like me and Kim have, hell, we've talked about everything, but she had said something to me one time. Just who knows what the hell she was watching? I'm sure some kind of. She's always watching someone get murdered or raped or whatever, like Lifetime
Checks.
crap, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know how they watch it all the time. It's just depressing. But I think she's just figuring out how much unnoticeable poison will work. I don't know. But the oh, I just squirreled on the Lifetime thing. Oh, but she'll be like uh it just sounds crazy. Like you just do it all for me, and it makes me feel bad and da 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 da. And I'm like, well, but I mean, why? Because like
Right.
I just told you, like, if if this makes you happy and you're doing, that, then I'm winning because that's the thing
Right.
I want, right? So
Exactly.
kind of like
Yeah.
helping you is me being selfish. So why would you,
Mhm.
Uh,
Right.
it's marriage is such a funny thing, dude. Just the relationship between a man and a woman. It's just hysterical.
It is.
It
It's
is.
crazy. It's beautiful. It's hard. It's lots of things. But uh, yeah. I mean, I think like all the things you said. I think for me it was really hard too. As a guy, and I think like as I'm just naturally hard headed. It's like I don't want to talk. Like like I'll just be hard headed. You'll figure it out. Whatever. But realize that really never works. Never has yet to work out in my favor. So it is like the hard thing is to like have the conversation here's what's going on, but it took probably a lot too long to, start to figure that out. But like you said, if you don't have those conversations, or you don't know what the hell each other's trying to do, it's just like, banging heads, trying to hope that a positive outcome is gonna roll out somehow.
Dude, one of my buddies told me something way back in the day, way back in the day. And if you knew the source, it's like super ironic. But the and you don't. This is like way before I was in high school still. But he told there's and I and not like I don't think he meant it in a literal sense, but maybe. But he was like, dude, no one's married until you've talked about getting divorced. And he's like,
Yeah.
and then you're married. He was like, because anyone can do the honeymoon, anyone. And he's like, but until you've like been at the low of the low and climbed back up, then you're not married yet.
Mm. I remember you said that in one of the earlier episodes, and I was like, "Wow, that's deep." And
Yeah.
I think it resonates a lot to a lot of different people, and I mean, I feel like a lot of the successful marriages that I know about, it's like they've been there, they took that ride down, and now you see them now, and it's I feel like it's like any story of success. No one sees the low lows, the hard work, the everything. It's just everything's an overnight success because now that's all they see. You're on the top of the mountaintop. So I think
Right.
that's powerful. But with that, I gonna look out for your well being, get you some sleep. We're at the hour mark, so we'll start to wrap up. But before we do, any cool stories that you've seen in all your extra hours in the office?
No. Oh, but I just remember what I remember where I was going because someone's gonna be like, "This dude's an idiot." Yeah, I squirreled, but it ran back by. Uh, I'd come home and who knows what she had been watching, but she said, "Babe," and this has been a while ago. Uh, it holds more true now than ever though for me. Will, dude, do you know this August 21,
Dang,
21,
bro.
21 years, bro. Uh, I don't
Kudos.
even,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Uh, but yeah, I've spent half my life with this lady. But so Kim was like, "What what'd you do? You came home," and I was like, "With someone else." And I was like, honestly, like, and I was like super tired at the time when this happened. It's kind of like now, right? Uh, a more awake, caffeinated me would have answered with some kind of like how I would kill the dude or something. Uh,
Right, right.
but that me was like, babe, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I probably just like hit a corner or two real quick and just hope he's gone when I got back. Like, like I just wouldn't
I ain't
even.
got time.
I ain't had time for that, dude. And I ain't starting over. I'm in too deep. I don't like, and hell, dude, I honestly, dude, I don't want to be with nobody else, man. Everybody who
Mhm.
meets my wife loves her. Uh, and like,
She's pretty awesome.
she is awesome. And she's also crazy as hell, a lot to put up with, hard headed, uh, does everything halfway. Like she's probably sweeping something up in the kitchen right now. She's gonna leave the broom, the pile of dirt. She'll go get the duster too, dude. Put it beside it and then walk away. And I don't
Uh,
know if it's just to piss me off or it's some kind of game she's playing and just hadn't told me about it yet or what. But like that's my girl, dude. Like that's my girl, dude.
that is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, with that, yeah, and I feel like, I've seen just about all those adjectives that you've described from Kim. I've seen, obviously a couple in there I haven't, but I can vouch for you.
Yeah.
Awesome,
Yeah.
crazy, hard-headed.
All of it, dude. All of it.
Love you, Kim.
Rob
All right, brother.
Cocos. All right.
We got to wrap. Any final thoughts?
Nah.
All right.
That well, man, tell your person you love them, dude, and just try to not just hear but listen.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, brother. Get some sleep. We'll catch you next time.
Later, bro.